Jiang, one of the main questions in the mind of the Arab states today is, do you see a long war happening between Iran and the United States?
Okay, I will say this. Whatever you believe about what is happening, whatever you believe will happen, will be completely wrong. Whatever happened in the past will not apply to what's going to happen right now. This is a unique war. This is something that we cannot use history, the lens of history, to understand. I know this sounds crazy, okay? But keep this in mind, because what's going to happen in the next few months or next few years will even be more crazy. The way you think that the world is run is probably wrong. It probably is. No one knows why this war is being fought. Trump and his people have not articulated any real reason why they seek to destroy Iran. So these people are insane. They're crazy. This entire thing is crazy. Take whatever you believe about the world and throw it out the window, okay? Just do that. And then you might understand what's going on. All the reasons that they're giving us make no sense. It's all lies. It's all deception, okay? What they really want to do is destroy the world. Plato's Allegory of the Cave.
Let me show in a parable to what extent our nature is enlightened or unenlightened. Envision human figures living in an underground cave with a long entrance across the whole width of the cave. Here they have been from their childhood and have their legs and necks chained so that they cannot move and can only see before them, being prevented by the chains from turning their heads around. Above and behind them, a fire is blazing at a distance. They see only their own shadows, which the fire throws on the opposite wall of the cave. For how could they see anything but the shadows if they were never allowed to move their heads? Between the fire and the prisoners, there is a raised way, and a low wall built along the way like the screen which puppet players have in front of them, over which they show the puppets. Of the objects which are being carried in like manner, they would only see the shadows. And if they were able to converse with one another, would they not suppose that they were naming what was actually before them? To them, the truth would be literally nothing but the shadows of the images. And now look again and see what will naturally follow if one of the prisoners is released. At first, when he is liberated and compelled suddenly to stand up and turn his head round and look towards the light, all this would hurt him, and he would be much too dazzled to see distinctly those things whose shadows he had seen before. And then conceive someone saying to him that what he saw before was an illusion, but that now, when he is approaching nearer to reality and his eyes turn toward more real existence, he has a clearer vision. What will be his reply? And And you may further imagine that his instructor is pointing to the objects as they pass and requiring him to name them. Will he not be perplexed? Will he not think that the shadows which he formerly saw are truer than the objects which are now shown to him? And suppose once more that he is reluctantly dragged up a steep and rugged ascent and held fast until he is forced into the presence of the sun himself. When he approaches the light, his eyes will be dazzled, and he will not be able to see anything at all of what are now called realities. He will require to grow accustomed to the sight of the upper world. And first he will see the shadows best. Next, the reflections of objects in the water, and then the objects themselves. Then he will gaze upon the stars and the spangled heavens and the light of the moon. He will see the sky and the stars by night. Last of all, he will be able to see the sun, and not mere reflections of it in the water, but he will see the sun in its own proper place and not in another. And he will contemplate the sun as it is. Will he not then proceed to argue that it is the sun who gives the season and the years, and is the guardian of all that is in the visible world, and in a certain way the cause of all things which his fellows have been accustomed to behold? Clearly he would first see the sun, and then reason about it. And when he remembered his old habitation and what was the wisdom of the cave and his fellow prisoners, do you not suppose that he would bless himself for the change and pity them? And if they were in the habit of conferring honors among themselves on those who were the quickest to observe the passing shadows, and to remark which of them went before and which followed after, and which were together and who were therefore best able to draw conclusions as to the future, do you think that he would care for such honors and glories, or envy the possessors of them? Would he not say with Homer, "Better to be the poor servant of a poor master, and to endure anything rather than think as they do, and live after their manner"? Imagine once more such a one coming suddenly out of the sun to be replaced in his old situation. Would he not be certain to have his eyes full of darkness? And if there were a contest of measuring the shadows, and he had to compete with the prisoners who had never moved out of the den, while his sight was still weak, and before his eyes had become steady, wouldn't they all laugh at him and say he had spoiled his eyesight by going up there, and that it was better not to even think of ascending? And if anyone tried to release another and lead him up to the light, let them only catch the offender, and they would put him to death. It is the task of the enlightened not only to ascend to learning and to see the good, but to be willing to descend again to those prisoners and to share their troubles and their honors, whether they are worth having or not. And this they must do, even with the prospect of death. They shall give of their help to one another, wherever each class is able to help the community.
So everyone's under the assumption that America is entering this war to win. But it's also possible America entered this war in order to lose, in which case, everything's going according to plan. So again, your logic, your understanding of history, your common sense, your belief in the world, go out the door. Okay? America is not in this war to win. America is in this war to lose. So let me take some time to explain what I mean. Okay? It's eschatological, where there are people in the United States, and these are secret societies, and these are different secret societies who believe this. They believe that a war in the Middle East, once it's started, it will create a chain of events that will lead eventually to the end of the world, the end times. It would mean the creation of Pax Judaica, a one world government, and the coming of an AI surveillance state, where Jerusalem is the center of the world, okay? Then you have these Messianic Jews called the Shabbat Lubavitch movement, and there are others as well, okay? But the most famous, who believe that war will initiate the final battle of humanity, where the world basically attacks Israel, and this will force the coming of their Messiah, the intervention of God, basically, and the coming of the Messianic age, where God will live with his people, the Jews.
We're going to have some short-term pain with long-term gain.
And then the Christian Zionists, who believe that Jesus will return to save Israel from its enemies, and then all Christians who believe in Jesus will be raptured up into heaven before Jesus ushers in the millennium, the Messianic age, and then you have the final day of judgment, okay? So this plan has been in motion for decades. I would argue even for centuries, okay? So they want to usher in the end of days. And so there are certain things that will happen that will surprise people, and it makes absolutely no sense. I know this sounds crazy, but please remember, this war in Iran is crazy. It makes absolutely no sense why the Americans are fighting the war the way they are. And it like, honestly, it doesn't seem as though Trump and his people really care. Like, Trump's cabinet has basically moved on to American military bases. And why would they do that? Okay, so it seems as though something is being prepared for America. So transnational capital is interested in war, interested in destruction, interested in chaos, because that's the best time to buy, okay? So let's imagine that there's this war raging in the Middle East. Let's just say that there's this civil war raging in America, and there's a lot of destruction. That's great for you as transnational capital, because now you can sweep in and buy resources for really cheap. Right? And the faster the destruction happens, the more profit you can generate at the end of the day. So what we're seeing in the world is a massive alliance, like this grand alliance between the military-industrial complex, which benefits more, these eschatologists, these occultists who want to accelerate the end of the world, and these transnational capitalists who believe that when the world burns, then is the best opportunity to buy. Now you can buy up these resources, water rights, mining rights, for really cheap. And during the rebuilding process, you can make a lot of money, right? So that's how these things work.
Watch out for the shock, it's coming.
Professor Sachs, welcome here, my dear friend. Thank you for accommodating us. How easily can Netanyahu's and Trump's war get totally out of control?
Well, we are out of control because the Middle East is ablaze. Not only the Gulf is ablaze, that means Iran and the neighboring countries, including Bahrain, Oman, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. But because of Netanyahu and Trump and past American presidents, wars are raging actually from Libya across Africa, including Sudan and Somalia. They're raging in Lebanon. Of course, a genocide continues in Gaza. Slaughter continues in the West Bank. There's war in Syria. There is a continued war in Iraq and Yemen. And now there's the carpet bombing by the United States of Iran. So we have the Middle East ablaze.
But the world is heading towards a new place, a brave new world. We've never seen it before. It'll be complete chaos. And quite honestly, the goal is to kill as many people as possible, because the world can't sustain 8 billion people. So you're trying to create as many conflicts as possible to reduce the population so that the population will be easier to govern, to create compliance.
Our government is out of control. There is no constitutional order, and there is no sense in what is happening. And the wars are going to spread.
But Julian Assange, he said something really important. What he told was this: the point is not to have successful wars. The point is to have never-ending wars so that the military-industrial complex, this transnational security system, can steal the American taxpayer, okay? So what you need to understand is this: America, this nation state, it's just a host. What matters is the parasite. What matters are the secret societies, these transnational capital groups. That's who controls the world, okay? And these are the ones behind everything. And they choreograph these wars in order to extract as much wealth as possible from their nation state hosts before the nation state collapses.
The extent of this crisis will depend on whether the world tells Netanyahu and Trump, stop breaking the entire world.
Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin.
Given this war in Iran, you have to clear your mind, okay? You have to examine your own assumptions about the world. So right now, the world needs to have a spiritual awakening and abandon the consumerism, the materialism, the individualism, which has led us to this moment. And really ask yourself, what is meaningful? So in this age of tribulation, those who are most able to survive it are those who commit themselves to the betterment of humanity by being an open, generous, and kind person. What really gives you happiness and joy is to help your neighbor in need, to see others in need and contribute your life altruistically to their improvement. So this is a turning point in humanity.
And it's up to you, Mr. Trump, to end the disaster that you and Netanyahu caused.
I tell you this, I don't know what's gonna happen, man, but I want to have my kicks before the whole shithouse goes up in flames. All right.
It's really about a war of self-knowledge. Do each of us have the will, have the courage to seek the truth out, even though the truth can shatter our very sense of reality, okay? So let me end with this note, okay? Let me tell you what we need to do if we are to win this war individually, okay? Plato's Allegory of the Cave there are certain people, the elite, the true power in the world, they put up these puppets that the fire then reflects as shadows. And that's the reality that we live in today, where we think it's all real, but it's all an illusion. Okay? And the people behind the fire, pulling the strings, they're the real power. The United States, Russia, China, this war between the United States and Iran, that's all an illusion meant to distract you from trying to turn over and figure out what's really going on behind the scenes. Okay? And that is a challenge for us as human beings, to not be lied into this conflict. What matters is our understanding of the world.
Is everybody in?
What matters is our desire, our courage to seek the truth, no matter how painful the truth is.
Is everybody in?
That's what matters.
You have to believe in yourself. You have to look into yourself, because the truth, the divine spark, is inside of you, okay? We are born into this world, and as we grow older, we believe in the falseness that we see around us. And once you recognize that this world that we live in is our hallucination, it's just a projection of our imagination, then we can take control over this world. And then we're able to be our true selves, okay?
Is everybody in?
And what we will understand is that we're all connected. Once we're able to see reality as it is, we'll all be one and the same. We're all interconnected together, okay? We're all part of the same source. We have to train ourselves to see the truth from this falsehood.
You know today, night divided today. You know today, hang on to the other side. You know today,
Once you refuse to comply, once you refuse to obey, they have no power over you, right? And so that's a threat to power.
hang on to the other side.
When we love, when we imagine we are making the universe a brighter place, we are shining our light. When we just sit back and just do what we're told, we're doing nothing, okay? Remember Achilles. When you do evil, evil comes into you and it corrupts your soul. When you do good, good comes to you and it brightens your soul and you brighten the world with it, okay?